We want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to come and share what we see as an exciting opportunity for Yancey County Schools and for the county as well. For the last 8, almost 9 years now, the number one priority we have is students. I think that's what our charge is. Make sure we have a safe environment, a place that's conducive to learning, and an environment where our teachers are comfortable and feel safe. And I think we've done a good job of it. I really do. And that's been done because of a partnership between commissioners and board, sheriff's department, everybody working together for that. Nobody could have planned Hurricane Helene. We were planning the expansions for the school. We were planning to close Michael in probably 2 years, move the kids around to the other places to try to have a safe environment without any lead or asbestos, nothing exposed them to anything harmful. But we didn't get a choice. Schools were closed almost immediately, and kids were moved to where they had to be moved. Classes that were never classrooms, that intended to be a classroom, became a classroom. And as you go through South Toe and Burnsville and Blue Ridge, you'll see a lot of kids that are happy and secure, and they appreciate where they're at. You'll see teachers that are just working their tails off in a place that wasn't meant to be exactly be a classroom. Ever since I've been here, we closed B-Log, Ball Creek, Claremont, and now mine. Our 4 WPA schools have been closed. And the goal and saving grace for each of our schools is small classroom numbers. Everybody agrees that's conducive to more learning and a better environment for the teachers to be able to work one-on-one with children. But at the moment, we don't have that option. Our classes are full. Our teachers, they're just stressed. I mean, they're doing all they can do. As it came about, the project that you came up with, Project Gator, we learned of 150 jobs possibly coming to Yancey County. The only thing from our perspective we see the possibility of a multitude of kids coming. Last year alone, we received 88 new students in Yancey County schools. This week, we received 2.
3 last week and 2 today.
5 in the last 2 weeks. People are still wanting to come to Yancey County, and that's just a certainty. That's for sure. We understand that. We want to be, as a board, to be as progressive thinking as what you have been, as you purchased this property, and now we're looking at new industry coming to this county. We feel like our charge is to provide an opportunity for kids to have a safe place in a small learning environment, just as you see bringing jobs to Yancey County is positive. We see this as positive. The property that we're looking at is at West Yancey, 133 acres. Before you have the cost of the property. You have the way that it will be paid for through our funding sources. We've spoken extensively to the financial officer. There's no problem for us to do this. And there's no request from you for any funding. We're not coming to the county asking for funding for this. But at the same time, this property has the potential for every one of the people in the county to benefit from. We've got an opportunity on 133 acres. There could be parks. There could be a multitude of different things, and I think you'll see that as we go through it. But we come tonight asking you for your approval that we enter into a contract to purchase this land. And we worked together for years on it, had a great relationship. We want to continue. We don't want to do this on our own. We want to do this with your blessing and your approval. And any questions you have, we want you to ask us. We may not be able to answer, but we'll get you an answer. And I'd like to let Ms. Amy share with you her thoughts on this problem.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for listening to us. I'll admit I'm surprised to be standing here before you. I really thought that we would have this discussion as we do in spring. I've had you all over for supper and planning and talking and that kind of thing. And the landowner asked that we expedite this process. So with that, checking with Donnie and Lynn and talked to them on Friday just to let them know that this conversation is, yes, continuing and it's happening quickly. I guess the reason why I'm passionate about it is I see this is my 6th year here, and y'all did a really good job with Blue Ridge. You know, you really did. It's a beautiful school. The kids are happy. There's a whole bunch of them there. Teachers are happy. We continue to hear good stats about the school system of things that our teachers are doing. Found out just a couple of hours ago that our teachers are named second in the state. There's one other district, that we have the highest effective teachers in the state of North Carolina. And so when you hear that, there's no doubt we've got great principals, directors, our teachers are dynamic. And when you add in that and your governance, our board, things that we're trying to do for our kids, programs that we're adding in, you're going to see that growth. As you all bring in things, we see that growth. That's a good problem to have. But also, I see this project not taking place anytime soon. I'll be honest with you. I think that with our expansions and the buildings that we're doing, the additions that we're doing at Blue Ridge and at Burnsville, I think that will hold us for a bit. But as you continue to look at economic possibilities in coming here, there is no doubt in my mind that you're going to need one more elementary school in the next probably 6 to 10 years. We know that land is not available often. There's no secret to that. Do I see this as possibly being a multi-use, whether it's an elementary school, ball fields, workforce housing that we talked about? We very much want to keep teachers coming here. And so I do think that there are many things that we could do with this piece of property. If for some reason that changes, if that does not come to fruition, none of us have a crystal ball that we can look, we never thought the hurricane would happen, we never thought COVID would happen. But as folks leave the cities, they want to come back home. They want to come home to the mountains, and I understand that. And they're bringing with them children, grandchildren. And again, I just think it's a great opportunity for us. I would love to see this land stay in the hands of either county commission or us or someone that we have plans for it in the future that would benefit, our community. And so I did talk with our finance officer. She could not be here this evening. She is at a conference. She had a stroke when we started, Kim, and she was, oh my goodness, it was a surprise. But we do have the North Carolina lottery money that is given to us, and we've used it on occasion for different projects along the way. It's state money, so we can't use it as a match. We can't use it for salaries for teachers that I know of. And so with that, the purchase price of the piece of property is before you, the 33 acres. The amount of earnest money down would be $10,000. We would use $10,000 that we have been saving for land for many years. $10,000 from our capital account, and $1.5 then from our lottery funds. This will be entering into a 40-day contract. We'd be responsible for working with engineers and our architect to go through and do some testing to make sure that, yes, this property is appropriate to build a school with soil samples and all those things. And then, again, I see this as a 6 to 10 year investment for multi-use. So, I guess any other questions that you all might have?
So basically, you're wanting to be prudent and taking advantage of this opportunity to get a piece of property that may not ever happen again. I'm trying to understand your thinking and rationalize what's going on here. And you've got 45 days to do your due diligence to see if it's feasible or not to continue the contract. Is that correct? And you're looking at a 6 to 10 year project basis. As far as this new school,
Right. This
this stands out though. I see here that you got workforce housing, multi-use, different things. Within that 6 to 10 years, before that 6 to 10 years, you could do some workforce housing or something versus a school. Is that part of
Yes.
the mentality?
Yes. Seeing that housing is, especially after the hurricane, has been such a concern. And then we know that the average house price in Yancey County is astounding, especially for beginning teacher or any of our employees. And so I know that you all have talked about that too, and we have some great partners in throughout and with grant monies that are available to look at for workforce housing. It's something that we have just put on hold simply because we're like you. We have so many projects that are going on and so many things that we need to do first and complete first before we take this next venture. But here's this window of opportunity or time that I see is why we're looking at this now.
We never planned for this to take place now. It just came about that we didn't have any more time to wait because of other offers.
I was going to say, there's other offers on the table for this property.
Oh, absolutely. But the question, or the statement was made, we offered it to you first, we're going to honor that, we're going to give you the time for a contract. I asked Ms. Linus for a contract last Thursday. We had a contract Thursday afternoon.
And it is prime property.
Well, it's in a location where most of the growth is came to Yancey County, and we foresee that, that's how it's going at the moment, that can change, anything can change. But we wanted time to think about it, we didn't get time to think about it. And that's just the way it happens sometimes, we all know that, we've been through this before, you have to do other property acquisitions. If you look at it from the standpoint of looking what we paid for Blue Ridge Elementary, we paid about $25,000 an acre for that property several years back. This property is roughly $12,900 per acre. It's a lot more acres, but there's a lot more opportunity to do things. And we just see it as an opportunity to secure a future site for Yancey County School, as well as a future site for projects throughout the county. There's a lot of things going on out there. We have a lot of projects going on. Our next big deal in Yancey County Schools will be to apply for a grant down there at each high school. In May, we're going to have a facility study for the high school. We're doing that to try to be ahead of the game. That's the only way we got the last grant we got for all these 5 projects we're doing now. We were prepared. We had a facility study done, and sometime when the grant opens, we were ahead of the game. And that's what we're trying to look at. Now, I can foresee, it's just me, one finger, but I can foresee us finishing our facility study from Mountain Heritage. And within a year, having a facility study to figure out what we need and what's possible at that site. To be prepared and be ahead for the next board or whoever takes over and moves forward with the school system. People are coming. It's a great problem to have. It is a great problem to have. People wanting to come.
Any discussion anymore for the same as for Mr. Portman? Mr. Laws, is it feasible and viable, legal, I guess you'd say, that we could enter into a closed session at the end of this to discuss further? Would it be in, what can we do?
You can go into closed session for me to explain the procedure and the process and how the statute comes into play. And we could not discuss the substantive aspects of it. But I can explain to you the legal part of what you would have to do, where this statute comes from and how it plays out into this. So yes, you certainly can go into closed session for those purposes. And once we get into closed session, I'll keep you on the rails as to what you can discuss and what you can't discuss. But we can make a vote on it. Right. We can make a vote on it and we want to discuss whether the amount that is offered is one that you agree with. You will have to have that discussion and that vote in open session.
What's going on board?
Makes that motion.
To go into closed session?
That'll make that motion to move forward with the schools.
Okay. I have on the table a motion to move forward. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate y'all coming.